Yo, what's going on, man? Today is August the 2nd. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We have just one game on the board in the WNBA today. We'll do a quick recap, see what Jackson likes for today, and we'll get ready to jump up off here, man. Start looking forward to the 5-game slate for tomorrow in the WNBA on Sunday. Let me just double check something real quick before we get started. All right, yeah, I needed to make sure I did that real quick. All right, cool. All right, so quick recap of yesterday, man. Hit the like button for me as you guys join. I'm absolutely getting back to obliterated. That's 3 straight losses in the WNBA for me. Took the Liberty last night. Worst performance of the season for them, even though they were shorthanded. And Indy and Dallas up and over to 169.5. They hit a late 3. It was Dallas' second 3 of the game. I think they finished 2 for 14 from the 3-point line. They just literally could not score the basketball. And that game stays 3-point under the total that I got. I think it closed at 140, 170, like 4.5, 175. So I went 0-2 yesterday, still getting smoked in the W, even though we were getting it back slowly. I think we were down to like minus a unit, and now we've lost 3 straight plays. Hopefully you guys made some money yesterday. Everything I talked about that I didn't play, not everything, but some of it cash, some of it didn't. Yeah, WNBA continues to be very Jekyll and Hyde, man. Hopefully you guys made some money. Let's go through the comments real quick. Good morning, Algina. She says, good morning, Kristen Chad went 0-3 in the W last night. She lost on the Liberty minus 10.5. Indy and Dallas over 170. And Phoenix first half minus 2. Phoenix and New York, hot garbage. Here they are. Nally says, morning, Chris. Swept all spreads in the WNBA last night. I'm hotter than fish grease. On a hot July afternoon. man. Shout out to Nally. I don't know how you looking at these games, Nally, but it's cashing. It's absolutely cashing. Good morning, Martez. What's up, Marquise? Top of the morning to my guy Peasy. What's up, Mark? James says, new day, new money, bro. Yeah, we just sweep that behind us, man. It was a terrible day yesterday. I'm watching these games like, you got to be kidding me. And I fell asleep on the Sparks game, and that was the best game. I fell asleep, woke up early this morning, and watch the rest of that. That was a really good game. I said Sparks plus the points. I said over, and I didn't bet either one of them. Both of them would have cashed. Good morning, Jalen. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Doms? Happy Saturday, my brother. FY, good morning. It's crazy 1-3 night. Thanks to the Sparks. To the Sparks, at least they did get the job done. What's up, JLB? Hope all is well with you as well, bro. Jason says the Storm Sparks game was nice for the over. Great game. I think I wanted to say that the under would have hit in regulation, but I think it would have barely hit over or something like it was like very, very close to the 169, I think, or 166.5 or something like that. James says felt kind of lucky on that over in Seattle, and I agree with that. DT says we need a collab with you and Ski to the best. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Ski on the show soon. Like I know it won't be too much of a problem. I know he's on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, but Ski be up. Most of the time he don't even be fell asleep yet. So yeah, I can get Ski on the show. Maybe as we get a little bit closer and we get some meaningful WNBA basketball, I'll reach out to Ski. What up, 3 times? Appreciate you for tapping in. Jalen says like. Yeah, if you guys get the like button, it would help. All right, let's jump into it for today. So Jackson up first. Jackson did have a 2-0 night yesterday. Jackson, a little bit of a heater. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-1 in the last 8 plays. Outside of Kiki Ariafin, Jackson has been on a little heater. Rachel Benham over her points last night was a winner. Natasha Cloud under her 4.5 rebounds was another winner. Let's go over to Jackson and see what it likes today. Of course, Jackson's the AI Sports Betting tool. You guys can utilize that. It's in the description. There's a link in the description to get 50% off whatever tier you sign up for. So for today, I actually don't like these ones, but who cares what I like? It's all about what Jackson likes, and Jackson has been cashing. So first one up is Jackie Young over her 4.5 assists. This is kind of a popular play. Jackie Young has been a consistent playmaker for the Aces, and the data points to her continuing that trend against the Lynx. Her recent performance, she's been dishing out assists at a high rate, hitting the over in 80% of her last 5 games. She's averaged 6.8 assists over her last 10 games. She's still clearing the mark in 70% of her 70% of the time, averaging 5.8 assists. The head-to-head dominance. What's particularly compelling is her performance against the Minnesota Lynx this season. And the 2 matchups this season in 2025-2026 season, she's gone over the 4.5 line 100% of the time, averaging 5.5 assists. This demonstrates her ability to be able to facilitate against a specific opponent. So news narrative, her recent triple-double, including 11 assists, further underscores her recent form and playmaking prowess, with the Lynx boasting a top rated defense against assists. They rank number 1. Young's recent direct success against them and her overall hot streak makes this a high confidence pick. So you can get Jackie Young. It looks like it's minus 130, but shop around, see where you can get the best of the number. I actually don't hate it. I guess I don't hate it. I'm not big on taking a player assist against the number 1 rated defense, but that's just my thought process. Jackson's been a lot harder than me right recently, so continue to ride what Jackson likes, I guess. Over for Jackie Young. The next player prop is over for Courtney Williams. Over for Courtney Williams, over her 6.5 assists. So Courtney Williams out of the Minnesota Lynx also presents a compelling case for an over on her assist prop, especially given her history against the Aces. So consistent playmaking. Williams has shown a strong ability to exceed this line, hitting the over 60% of her last 5 games, 10, and 15 games. Her average assists in this stretch is 7.8, 7.2, and 6.73 respectively, all above the 6.5 line. Favorable history matchup. Looking back to last season, Courtney Williams has performed exceptionally well against the Las Vegas Aces, hitting the over 75% of her 4 games, averaging 7.75. This suggests she finds ways to create opportunities, even though it's a tough opponent. Road warrior mentality. When playing games on the road this season, Williams has maintained a solid 66.67% hit rate to the over for this prop, averaging 7 assists. The Aces defense against assists ranks 8th, which is strong. But Williams' consistent output and her historical success against them makes it an attractive underdog pick with plus money. So Courtney Williams over 6.5 assists is plus 108 on FanDuel. And Jackie Young over her 4.5 assists is minus 130 on FanDuel. But definitely shop around, see if you can get a better number if you like either one of those. Let's jump into it for today, man. Hit the like button for me as you join. Definitely is appreciated. Let's jump into it. So injury report for both teams, nothing really to report. Minnesota comes into the game. They will be pretty healthy. Still missing Griffin, who's been missing for a while now. And then the Aces just missing Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, who's been out for a while as well. So I looked into this game yesterday. First thing that stuck out to me, and I'm not going to try to make this too long of a show, but let's jump into it. So Minnesota, not always covering. They're not as good on the road as they are at home. That's the first thing that stuck out to me. I talked about this a little bit yesterday at the end of the stream for the Friday night games. Minnesota's 5-4-1 against the number on the road this season. This is their first road game after a 5-game homestand. Sometimes that could be a flat spot. They beat New York in what I think was a much more meaningful game. Now it could be of a little bit of a letdown spot here. They've already beaten the Aces twice this season. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. The Aces, on the other hand, only 4-7 against the spread at home this season. They have not been covering the number. They haven't been a dog that many times, though typically they've been laying points. This is their first game back home after a 4-game road trip as well. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back. And they got the Golden State Valkyries coming into town tomorrow. They've won and covered back-to-back games. Both have been against pretty bad defensive teams, against the Sparks and against the Dallas Wings. The last time this Aces team played against a really good defensive team, they struggled. It was against the Indiana Fever in Indiana. And they lost that game. Didn't cover the spread. I think they scored like 27 points in the second half or something along those lines. The other thing that really stands out for this game for me, it's a much more meaningful game for the Aces than it is for Minnesota. The Aces right now currently sit in, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. They are in the last place right now. As far as playoffs go, they would be in the 8th seed. It's crazy. It's still kind of crazy to wrap your mind around the Aces being an 8th seeded team in the WNBA. I've been watching this league for 2.5 years, and Aces have never been this bad. But neither here nor there. My point is they need this game a lot more than the Minnesota Lynx do. And Minnesota, they got their little bounce back win in the next one. I mentioned Minnesota already covering both games so far this season. They've won both against the Aces. The first one without Asia Wilson, that was in Minnesota. They won that game. Strong second half in that game to cover the full game spread. And then they won the most recent matchup as well. That also was in Minnesota. They beat them by 14 the first game without Asia. They beat them by 32 in the second game. So Asia's got double-digit revenge and 2 times double-digit revenge in this spot. But Minnesota has owned this team. For whatever reason, they won and covered 5 games in the head-to-head series. That's this season, the 2, and going back to last season, 3, the last 3 from last season as well. So Vegas does have a 1-day rest advantage in this spot. I think that's something that's helpful for him here as well. I got into the total a little bit, and I do think it's an over game. I agree with the market pushing this up. This opened yesterday at 165. It's up to 160, I think 167.5 now. Actually up to 168. Oh, now it's come back down. 165.5, 167, 166. So whatever, it's a lot of different numbers you can get, but the money has come in on the aces to keep this close. This has moved all the way up to 6, is now down to 4.5. I agree, man. I do agree. I think Minnesota could get caught sleeping in this spot. And it's either going to be Minnesota. I mean, aces plus the points for me in this spot. I don't like that I'm getting the worst of the number, with it already moving down to 4.5. But I do think, or it's going to be the aces team total over. And I like that number a lot too. It opened, I think it was 80.5. It's up to 81.5. That's what I like a little bit more. Minnesota has played 4 straight overs. Their offense is finally clicking. They've averaged 96.5 points per game in those 4 games. I also looked at teams who are coming off a win as a favorite, and now they're a road favorite, and they're playing a team they've already beaten this season, but they have a rest disadvantage. They land 5 points or more. Those games typically go over. 24-8 to the over, 75% hit rate there. So I like the over. I like the aces. I do think that the Lynx defense struggles a little bit more on the road. This is what also kind of jumped off the page to me as well. So this is just a screenshot from the Money Baller. Their link is in the description of the video. This is opponent team totals, right? So you can see here that the Lynx opponents team totals in the first half are 8, 1, and 2 to the over. So they typically give up points. This could be an aces first half team total as well. You can see that the full game, they're 7 and 4 to the over as well. I mean, this is first half. This is road favorite. They both are the same for both teams. So this says that the aces should be able to go up and over their team total. When I looked at the aces team total, I didn't screenshot this and put it on the screen, but when I looked at the aces team total, they are 7 and 4 to their team total. The aces are, and 2 and 1 to their team total over if they're a home dog. The Lynx also, when they're at a rest disadvantage, I didn't put this on there, but when they're at a rest disadvantage, their opponents are 4-0 to their team total over as well, and 3-0-1 in the first half as well. So I like aces team total. I think the best number you can get right now is 80.5. That's my favorite play of today. Haven't bet it yet, but that's what I want to bet. 80.5, that team total. I'm sorry, 81.5, that team total for the aces. As far as player props, then I'll go through the comment section real quick. I do want to go over the outliers, share a couple looks with you guys as far as player prop goes. Again, hit the like button for me if you can as you join. For people who join late. All right, so let's get into player props. First one that stuck out to me, and I was just actually kind of going through and looking at the chart, and it just kind of made sense to me. First one was Chelsea Gray. Doesn't make sense if I like the over, but it does make sense if I think that she could potentially struggle in this game. And this is Chelsea Gray's line. She has not been, even though the Aces have been able to have some success. They beat Dallas, scored 100 points in that game. They beat the Sparks, scored pretty much 90 points in that game as well. She has not been the scorer in these games. She's been more of a facilitator. So this is her under 10.5 points. You can see that she's under this in 7 straight games. She's under in 8 of her last 10 games as well. If you look at the head-to-head matchups, the 2 this season, she got to 9 both games, but she just really, really struggles against this matchup. We know that the Lynx defense is pretty good. They're number 1 in points allowed, number 1 in points allowed to the point guard position as well. And even dating back to last season, you can see the last 2 games here from last season, she went under in both games as well. So for whatever reason, Chelsea Gray does not show up when she plays against the Aces. That was the first thing that was on my list. And then the next one, and it probably is not going to be as popular, but just kind of going with the data, Nafisa Collier, I would never fade Fee on her points, but her rebounds under 8.5 is a little appealing here. So under 8.5 boards, you can see that she did grab 9 against the Liberty. The Liberty are, you can see here the 9th worst rebounding defense in the WNBA. They give up a ton of rebounds. They got smoked on the boards last night by the Connecticut Sun of all teams. And she did get to 9 rebounds against the Aces in this spot as well. But outside of that, Fee has been under her 9 boards in 8 of her last 10 games as well. I like this spot here. Aces also pretty good rebounding team. You can see they give up the 3rd fewest rebounds to the forward position. Not as great. They do give up a ton of rebounds here, but I think Courtney Williams and Alana Smith and Bridget Carlton and they got a bunch of forwards that can go down there and rebound the basketball. So Fee could fall short today. I think she falls short. Under 8.5 is would be my recommendation on Fee's rebounds. Those were the only 2 player props that I really liked at all. I'll give you guys the reason why I didn't bet the Aces, because I didn't bet the Aces for the full game. And it really stems from this. So if people like the Aces, if people like the Lynx, I get it. Here's the argument for Minnesota. I'm not betting Minnesota though. The Aces are 2-7 straight up, 3-6 against the spread when they're a dog this season. They have not performed well. They've lost 3 straight as a dog. They've only covered 1 of the 3 games that their last 3 games that they've lost. Aces are also 2-10 against the spread this season when they're playing a team that has a winning record. I had to like double check that yesterday. I'm like, what? So if the Aces play a team that has a winning record, they're 2-10 against the spread this season. They beat the Dream by 15. They beat the Mercury by 3. Every other team that they played that had a winning record, they failed to cover every single time. They're 1-4 against the spread at home versus a team with a winning record as well. So the Aces, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. When they play against soft defenses, they look really, really good. When the Aces play against good defenses, they've looked really, really bad. I'm kind of banking on their offense. Has been doing a little bit better recently. On the full season, I'll just give you guys some numbers real quick. On the full season, the Aces are 8th in offensive rating. Last 5 games, they're 5th. On the full season, they are 8th in scoring, averaging 81.6 points per game, right at this number for today. Last 5 games, up to 86. So the offense is clicking a little bit. I do think some of that has to do with them, just playing a little bit harder, playing with a little bit more pace. And Minnesota also playing with a little bit more pace. Minnesota's 11th in pace on the season, 8th in pace over the last 5 games. So they've been picking it up as well. I like the Aces. I like the Aces. I think that they can at least be able to score the basketball here. Let's see what you guys think, and then we'll do a quick recap. 3-time action about Collier, over her 3.5 assists. It just depends, right? I did look at this line. It has been something that's been money. Fee can definitely go out there and get her assists. The Sparks, not the Sparks, the Aces have actually been stingy. They actually allowed the fewest assists in the WNBA over the last 5 games, just 17 a game. On this full season, they averaged 20. They allow 21 assists per game, which is 8th ranked. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like from a situational spot, I know the Aces are coming off a win, but it kind of feels like the Aces need this game a little bit more than the Lynx. I kind of feel like the Aces can cover, man. I do feel like the Aces can cover. I don't like that it's down to 4.5 though. But yeah, I think Fee could go out there. In my opinion, this depends on if Fee going, she gonna be a facilitator or she gonna be a scorer. Last game against the New York Liberty, she wanted nothing to do with facilitating. She finished with 2 assists. She finished with 2 assists. So she's hit it, missed it her last 4 games. But she's definitely looking to shoot the basketball. 25, 32, and 30 in her last 3 games. Fee's been absolutely trying to score the basketball. Now Lisa Jackson is on to something. Both props sound great. Jalen says back to the well with Lynx third quarter -1.5. Shop around to see if it's a half a point now at -130 as well. Appreciate you, Malcolm. Nally says, I know it's ugly, but Aces +5 sprinkle on the money line. What's up, Lane? Appreciate you for tapping in. Nally says she'll play Asia. Dom says he'll play Asia under. Jewel O. Aces 20-5 are on double revenge games. I didn't see that the Aces were 20-5. 20-5 against the spread in double revenge games. I didn't see that. I think I just looked at that as well. Let's see real quick. I think I looked at that earlier this season. I actually looked at the Aces in double-digit revenge games. So they lost the last game by double digits since Becky Hammond took over in 2021. I think she took over in 2021. They're 17-14 against the 17-14 straight up, only 15-1 against the spread, which is why I didn't even share this. And recently it has not been great. If they're at home, they are 7-6 against the number, 9-4 to the over. 7-6 against the spread, 9-4 to the over. And if they're a home dog, first time, this was the first time that they've been a home dog in Becky Hammon's tenure, coming off a game where they lost by 10 points to that opponent. So revenge spot, double-digit revenge spot, and a home dog since 2021. First time I looked at that. Mark says he'll take Aces first half, thinking that we fade the Lynx early. Makes a lot of sense. Thinking about Lynx third quarter. Makes sense. 421 says running back Jackie Young, rebounds and assists has absolutely been money. What up, Helms? Hope all is well with you, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. Lynx my goats, but giving them a rest day. Chelsea Gray under 4.5 assists for Helms. First says feed my queen, running them Lynx minus 5.5, and pray Asia don't have a legacy game. Asia gonna look like Braun, mark my words. I can see that. Jewel will be a good fit in Chicago next year. Man, they need a shooter so bad in Chicago. I don't even know if Jewel is a shooter anymore, though. That's the thing. Helm says Lynx lost their I've lost three first games of a road trip in a row, I believe. Wow. Let's see that real quick. And then we'll get ready to do a recap. Season 2025. Team equals Lynx and previous home and away. So if the Lynx are on the road and their last game was at home, they are 2-2 straight up, 1-3 against the spread, 4-0 to the under. I don't like that a lot at all. Do we think the Aces can play enough defense to keep the Lynx under their team total? Because that was the other way I was looking. Maybe Lynx team total under. Lynx go on the road, man. They don't perform as well. But I'll tell you guys one thing that I looked at, and it's just a collection of the whole season. Lynx defense is not as great on the road, and Lynx defense is a lot better at home. So if you look at them in road games, they've given up an average of 79 points per game. If you look at them at home games, they've given up an average of 73 points. So they give up 6 more points? 6 more points at home. 6 more points on the road than they do at home. Offensively, they only average They average 83 on the road, and they average 86 at home. So offense and defense gets a little bit worse. They are 10-7 against the number at home, 59%. On the road, they are 45% ATS. Typically lay about 7.5 points. They win by about 4 on the road, which is right where this number is. Take with that information, do what you want, man. Take with that information and do what you want. Let's see. Brian says Aces first half plus 5.5. Question mark. Very well could come out flat, Minnesota. Just hope it's not a matchup thing and Minnesota wins again. I think that's what you're looking for. Yeah. Better share on risk. Says what's good, Chris in chat. I hit on the Liberty first half team total points under and 47.5. Nice. 3-time running. People hit the like button as well. Appreciate that. All right. So real quick recap. And I may end up going live tonight, honestly. This is a 3:00 start time game. It's a standalone game as well. So I may end up going live tonight, just kind of going over the games for tomorrow, trying to get ahead as much as possible because I woke up this morning, the lines were already out. So I was like, definitely want to try to get ahead as much as I possibly can. So let's jump into a quick recap. I may go live tonight for tomorrow's game, so just wanted to share that with you guys. Aces team total over. Chelsea Gray under her 10.5 points. Laficia Collier under her 8.5 points if I bet anything today. Sign up link is in the description as it always is. The link for all the resources are also in the description as they always are. Check those out. Enjoy your Saturday. Hit the like button for me on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Turn the notification bell on so you know when I go live. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.